A leader is one of, if not the most important position in a team or project. The leader is entrusted with setting goals for the team and the process in which they achieve said goals. To be a successful leader, one should be able to easily divide their team into a myriad of subdivisions with little trouble. As the leader of Team 4 for the Warming House project, the process in which I organized my team was simple yet effective. Once Professor Palmer delegated each leader to their assigned group and gave us the loadout of the various roles within the project, I immediately sent out a Google survey. I designed the survey to assist in my decision process regarding which team member does what. The survey worked like a charm, and luckily for me, each teammate was interested in one of the separate positions. Another imperative trait of a good leader is a desire to perform at their best and encourage their team to do the same. In order for this to occur, strong communication is essential. Throughout the entirety of the project, I made it a point to design in-depth paragraphs using the Trello board, detailing everything that went through my head during this assignment. With the leader being at the forefront of this project, there are many risks and obstacles he or she will have to overcome. For example, without careful planning or organization days ahead of a deadline, many things can get skewed quickly. This occurred when I failed to find out the exact opening time of the warming house, thus having my team and I wait outside the building for half an hour. Mishaps such as that remain in your team's mind more so than the positive things you attributed. It's important to realize that as the leader, every mistake one makes is 10 times worse than if a team member did the same. We turned this misstep into a helpful one as we used our extra time to interview nearby stores of what they thought of the warming house and those who frequent it. Needless to say, we were quite surprised with some of the responses we received. The final aspect of being a leader I would like to cover is the importance of being able to motivate and stay optimistic. During the day of the actual visit to the warming house, I made it a point to let my team know to keep up the good work constantly. Despite a few setbacks in the kitchen, I quickly came up with suggestions to make up for our trouble. An example of this was when our dessert mix couldn't even fit the smallest baking pan. I swiftly came up with the solution to put the dessert mix into a cupcake pan instead, as it requires less mixture to create one cupcake. This turned out to be an excellent choice, and with another teammate's input, we were able to improvise a dessert that catered to everyone that was at the warming house and still have extras left over. During this post-warming house portion of the project, I am actively involved in everyone's part of the video and assisting the media leader with editing the final video. With all that being said, here's our eventful day at the warming house.
My name is Gennaro Colon. I'm a StratCom major. I'm a junior. I'm a pro fighter, and I also powerlift on the side.
I'm Owen Hart. I'm a finance major, sophomore, and a hobby of mine is hunting.
I'm Joe Bevilacqua. I'm a sophomore. I am a finance major, and my hobby I like to do is play golf.
I'm Jared Gates from Syracuse, New York. I'm a management major, and a hobby of mine is basketball.
Hey guys, this is Jared Gates and Joe Bevilacqua on our way to the warming house. We are en route as we speak. Should be a fun day, and we're gonna have a good time. Let's get it.
Hey guys, this is Gennaro Colon. I'm the leader of Team 4. I've never been to the warming house aside from the time my team and I took inventory. To be honest, I was expecting way more people than the actual amount that came. Because of that, I was just cracking out as many fried eggs as I possibly could, and also the turkey slices, but it turned out to be only, I think it was 15 to 18 people. I thought there was going to be like 30. So we had a lot of food left over, and that was good because a lot of people wanted seconds. My experience at the warming house was overall not a bad one. I got the opportunity to bond with my group more than I ever would have through a normal school year. So that was pretty cool, and I believe our bond allowed us to make and agree to decisions on the fly. Regarding our dessert, we didn't have a small enough baking pan to properly pack the brownie mix, so I suggested we use a cupcake pan so that the brownie mix can pack neatly. And then Joe decided to make like these brownie cookie sandwiches, like cookie brownie sandwich type things, which allowed our limited amount to become like a surplus of dessert. So a lot of the visitors were able to have seconds regarding the dessert. My role at the warming house was obviously as the leader, and as the leader, I was assuring every team member that everything was going to be okay, make sure they're all doing their job, and just, constantly keeping an eye over every single station that was working. I also was in charge of cooking all of the eggs and all of the turkey slices, and it all came out pretty well. I think next time, if we were to ever do this again, I'd probably do scrambled eggs instead of over easy eggs, because cooking that type of egg for a huge amount of people turned out to be kind of a problem in terms of time management. But I was able to still make all the required amount of food before 4 o'clock. So, it turned out to be all right. My most memorable experience at the warming house today was when one of the visitors complimented on how good the eggs looked. That just made me feel really good. And also the amount of times I burned my hand like on the pans, because I kept forgetting to use a rag to like touch hot surfaces, and my left hand is killing me now. But overall, a very good time.
Control of our warming house project. In this section of the management functions, we will focus on getting performance to meet the end goal. The importance of informing every teammate of this goal is crucial, as it plays a part in every phase of the management project and is a key component to maintaining control. Control can be envisioned as a pyramid with the standard or end goal at the top, while assess and adjust are at the bottom corners. At the assess portion, actual performance is compared to the standard. The adjust portion is when changes are made to get the performance to meet the standard. Maintaining the standard is the main goal of the control phase in reference to the management functions. Our standard was composed of 3 components. The first being provide a nutritious meal that helped balance macros. The second and most difficult, make enough food to satisfy all the guests. Lastly, get the meal out on time and warm. Things that went well. The meal was nutritious, consisting of eggs, turkey, home fries, pancakes, and a cookie brownie sandwich. All the guests were able to eat as much as they want and take out if they wanted to. We followed a strict plan that utilized the warming house kitchen facilities, allowing everybody to work in their own area and take care of their task at hand. What didn't meet the standard? The meal was served 10 minutes late due to the lack of knowledge as to how many guests there were going to be until the mealtime was supposed to happen. Some meals were cold as they sat out while we prepared more food. The dessert recipe had to change because it lacked enough to satisfy all the guests.
This is Joe Bevelak when I'm doing planning and organization for the warming house. So first we have planning. Planning is reaching a set goal and planning to strategize to achieve that goal at our warming house. So first, we have to set that goal, and then through the progress of doing the work, we achieve it and create a nice meal that can be achieved in a short amount of time. There are also downfalls of planning. Overconfidence is one aspect, and that applies to me personally because I thought we had enough resources for the brownies, but when we went to the warming house and did it, I realized it only support 8, so I had to improvise, and we also had cookies, so I combined the brownies with the cookies and made a cookie brownie sandwich to fill everyone's plate. Also, you have organization. Our use of Trello allowed our team to communicate effectively, so we would always communicate like what time you get into the warming house when it came to the site prep team, so we made sure that we all got there at the same time, and when it came time to go to the warming house, we made sure we got there all at the same time, so no one was like left empty with just being there by themselves doing all the work. Examples of organization: Gennaro would also send surveys on who wanted to fill what jobs for the team projects. So like who wanted to be the site prep team, who wanted to be recipe preparation team, who wanted to be the cooking team, and who wanted to be the video creator. So we could have our specific roles being adapted to like everyone's talents for like how they suit themselves to be like in the best position. So the prep team was Gennaro, Joe, and Jared. This consisted of going to the warming house a week before to see what resources we need and see if like they had the meats there and everything, like all the ingredients that we needed in order to cook. And we decided that they had everything that would be suitable for breakfast, and we thought that breakfast would involve the least amount of resources and it would be the easiest to like provide for all the people at the warming house. Then we had the recipe team, which was Owen, and this was like the last aspect of planning organization, which was we gave him like everything that we needed for the breakfast meal, and he made a list of all the resources we needed in order to cook and like how many and the quantity, and he also stated the nutrition facts of like how many calories for each person, so they have all the main food groups. And we like, if you look to the right, we have nutrition facts of like the brownie, so we labeled everything that had like nutritional value for our meal at the warming house, and that is about it.
Hi, I'm Jared Gates. For my segment of the video, I'm going to be talking to you about the Franciscan values and how they were incorporated into the warming house project as a whole. At St. Bonaventure, we follow 4 statements of discoveries. I would say 4 values that we include are discovery, community, individual worth, and then finally statement of discovery, as I just said. I think that I can speak for my team that each of us discovered what it means to help ones that are less fortunate. When we went there, it was really, really nice to do something good for people who don't have as much as we do. And then it's good to realize what we have in life and how blessed we are to be attending a school like St. Bonaventure and to be working towards something that we can benefit ourselves in the future with. The second one is community. All in all, I think we all just found that if we just help the people around us, we can make our community a better place. And that's just really important to myself and I think my team. And we all realized that when we went to the warming house and we helped out the people that were less fortunate. Individual worth is the third one. It feels really, really good to go and help someone who doesn't have as much as we do. And something so simple can create such a big impact on everyone else around us. I think it's kind of like the ripple effect. You do something small, everything else is gonna come along with it. And then finally, statement of distinction. We learned, new skills that we can use after college, and this is very important in the workforce. And I think everyone has to be grateful for what they have and not to take anything for granted ever. And then overall, just to have a good moral outlook on life. I can speak for my team when I say this. This was a great project. It taught us a lot about everything that we need to do in life and how we can be better people and how we can serve others who are less fortunate. Thanks.